In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And then God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. So what does it mean to be created in the image of God? One would think by initial glance that this passage is speaking of physical appearance, but we learn later, in reading the context of the story of creation, that God works in certain attributes when He does what He does best, which is loving, creating things, and making something out of nothing. It is extremely important, though, that we approach this topic or question with a very humble mind and understand that we are not God, we will never become God, and not little gods ourselves. And to think so is to have the same train of thought that Lucifer had when he was casted out of heaven onto earth, along with a third of the angels, for rebellion against God by wanting to become God, or little gods themselves. It's extremely important that we understand that because we're children of God, doesn't mean we can become God. Although we should strive every day to become more like Jesus, the Messiah, His Son, we will always fall short of the perfection that He operated in. And if we can't become Jesus Christ, then how do we expect to become God or God-like ourselves? And now that we understand this, we can begin to look at the attributes that God operates in to see what the perfect image of God is and how we apply to that. In the book of Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. This gives us an attribute that we can look at. There is always a pure and direct intention behind any creation of God. He does nothing by accident. Now, let's look at the next passage and see which attributes we can find. Genesis 1:2. Now the earth was formless and void. Darkness was over the surface of the deep. The Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. This shows us that God is a loving Father, consciously thinking of how He can go about creating a place that will last for millions of years for His children to play, learn, worship, and love. The next passage, as we look in the book of creation, says this in Genesis 1:3. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And He saw that the light was good. So He separated the light from the darkness. This shows us two attributes. One, that God speaks the truth, so much truth that when He speaks it comes into existence. And two, that God operates in complete discernment while at the same time establishing healthy boundaries. So now, are you beginning to understand more about the image of God? Let's recap. One, that God is always pure and direct in His intentions. Number two, God is love. And number three, God speaks absolute truth. Number four, God sets healthy boundaries while operating in discernment. So you see, it has nothing to do with physical appearance, but everything to do with attributes and characteristics and how we apply to that. But it's very important to read the Word for yourself and see the attributes you apply to in the real image of God. Thank you for watching.